Hello, everybody. Welcome to Medical Sociology, SYO 4400. Hi, I'm Mike Loree. I'll be your instructor for this semester. The purpose of this video is to orient you to the course page and to go over the syllabus. As you can see, we're at the course homepage. We're Module 1. That's this week. Now, these things are set up. This is Module 1. This is Week 1, but it's the week of 110. Now, this date here does not mean that everything in the modules do 110. That'd be really cruel. No, that's not how it works. It's just week of 110. You see, the next week is the week of January 17th. So each of these modules is 1 week. All right, so we have our syllabus. Now, when you guys are looking at this, you'll see this intro video right above the syllabus, but it's not there because, well, we're recording it now. And below that, you'll see the federal aid attendance assignment. You need to take that by Friday to ensure that any aid that you may be getting does not get delayed. Even if you're not getting aid, you still need to take it. It's just one question. It's not a big deal. Just make sure you get it done. Now, below that, I have the 3 writing assignments for the semester listed. It's just so you can find them if you want to find them without having to dig through all the modules. Now, each of these will have an accompanying video of me talking about what in better detail about what it is I'm looking for. But if you look at each one, the assignments are pretty well spelled out. At least I think they are. Have your instructions, and see, you have your rubric, your grading rubric, which is what I hand out to my TAs when they go to grade these things. So you folks will know, well, what it is we're looking for, because that's the idea. Again, the video will go a little bit more into detail, but if you want to check them out, I recommend it. All right, so that's first week. That's this week, not much, right? Kind of getting your book and getting yourself oriented. And then next week, each week we'll have a introduction. We'll introduce this week's topic, and starting with the third module, we'll talk about the previous week's module as well. So kind of making sure we're tying these things together and understand these modules are all smaller parts of a larger whole. That's what these introductions are for. And you'll see for each chapter for each week we have a reading. This is chapter 1 is the reading. We have our PowerPoint slides, video lecture. It's on YouTube if you want to look at it there. And then there's a quiz. Now, this quiz is actually due Saturday, the 22nd, because of the holiday on January 17th, Martin Luther King Day. But all subsequent quizzes will be due on the Friday of that week that they're assigned. Now, all the quizzes are open as of right now, but they will close again on that week. So make sure, even if you work ahead, you keep some kind of eye on the schedule so you don't miss any of these. Let's see here. Module 3, keep on going. We have some of these some outside videos too, just to enrich your learning experience. Let's see. It kind of keeps going on this way until we get to, we have our first exam here. Now, exams are open Monday morning at 7 a.m. and they close Tuesday night at 11:59 p.m. They're only open for that short window. This is because of test security issues. I don't really mind if quiz questions get tossed around. Exam questions are a little bit bigger deal. So, yeah, keep that in mind. So quizzes are due Friday. Exams open Monday and they close Tuesday. And this week we also have our first discussion. Now, here's how these discussions work. Yes, they are group assignments, but before you go reaching for the drop button for the course, let me explain something. With these group assignments, you are only graded on what you write, okay? I don't believe in grading groups. I'm sure all of us have some kind of nightmare experience where you're in some group project and one person ghosts and another person turns in terrible work and your grade is poorly affected because of this group that you were randomly assigned to, and that just seems really unfair, right? So I don't do that. I do break you into groups, and the reason for that is when you have a class of this size, right? There's 150 people in this class, I believe, at the last count. When you have a discussion with 150 people, just kind of hit and running each other with statements, it's not really much of a discussion, really. So in order to actually facilitate actual discussion, that's why you're broken up into groups. So groups of 5 can actually talk amongst each other to actually maybe, generate some insight. At least that's the theory, right? So yes, you are in groups, but no, you're not graded as a group. You're graded individually. All right. So how these work is you have a prompt that I give you, and you have to answer that prompt by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday night. Now, you have that prompt answered Wednesday night. Now, from that point on, you have until Friday night at 11:59 p.m. To respond to make two responses. It doesn't have to be two classmates. It can be two responses to the same classmate. But you have to have two responses by the end of the week. The reason why I do that is if we just make the due date Friday, everybody will wait till about 11 o'clock p.m. to actually put their initial posts in, and nobody will have anything to comment on, right? So this way, everybody has an initial post done by Wednesday, so even if everybody's procrastinating, there's still at least a couple of days to get responses in. All right? That's my theory. If you have any questions about the discussions, I'll be happy to answer them. But that's how these work. And I think that covers most of our assignments, actually. Quizzes. Yep. We just kind of scroll down. Spring break, yay. There's our exams, discussions, and on it goes, right? I try to keep things fairly simple and straightforward, at least as far as the course design goes. I don't like there to be a lot in between you and the material. So here it is. Anything else worth mentioning? Oh, your final. It's probably the final exam week is probably a good one to talk about. UCF's doing something weird this semester. The 25th is actually a day of class. So we're kind of expected to have some kind of something for you. So here's what I have for you. We have the quiz 14, which that's a free quiz. It's one of those free points. Click it, say yes, get points. Hooray. The second assignment is a survey about the class. It's 25 points. Now, what this is my attempt at keeping the course somewhat relevant by polling you folks to see what it is you think is interesting. What I'm trying to avoid is having a class that's essentially my soapbox for my favorite topics and not really addressing what it is you, the people, want to actually learn about. So I have this survey about the class to what is right, what is wrong, what would you like to see, so on and so forth. It just helps me keep this class, humming right along, if you will. Your final exam, this one's not on a Monday because I can't do it on a Monday because it's not exam period. It opens the first day of exam period, which is, I believe, Wednesday, the 27th, and then it closes Thursday, the 28th. So I know it's a little bit of a curveball there with the scheduling, but I'm sure between now and the end of April, we could probably plan accordingly. Okay, so that's the course page. Now we go up to the syllabus. Eventually, as the hamster runs around the wheel, there we go. All right, so yep, in case you've gotten this far, and you're like, what course is this again? It's SYO 4400. There's 3 sections of y'all. So when you email me, say you have a question about something or something's going on, make sure you let me know which section you're in, 0W61, 62, or 63. It'll make it a lot easier to go dig up whatever it is you need to dig up as far as records go. Okay. Each of these courses will have a TA. Each of these sections has a TA. They'll be contacting you during the first week. And those folks do a lot of the grading. So a lot of the questions you may have about how things are graded, you should direct them to them. Now, if you have a problem with how things are graded, of course, I'm the instructor of record, so you can, of course, email me as well. I do recommend, however, that you use my actual email address instead of Web Courses messaging. Now, you can use Web Courses messaging. I'll get the message. But the email comes to me quicker. It shows up in a different box in my Outlook. So it's a better way to get a hold of me more quickly. So just use my actual email address. All right. Now, I'm not going to read the course description and all this. I'm assuming you folks are literate at this point. If not, we have bigger problems. But some important points here to look over. The book. You need the book, right? There's a lot of 13th editions out there. Those are not really the right one. There probably are 15th editions out there as well. We're going to try to stick with the 14th. There is a possibility that the bookstore will put up a hard front and not let us use the 14th. And if that's the case, we'll make an adjustment. But for right now, the 14th edition is what we're going with. All right. Here's our student learning outcomes. And each of these outcomes are also kind of peppered through those introduction pages for each week. So take a gander at those before you start reading, give you an idea what to look for. All right, here's our points. Our federal aid compliance assignment, our suggestion box survey, which we've talked about, both of those. There are 4 of these exams, in case you didn't notice with the schedule. They are 50 questions. You have 60 minutes. That's that. There's no study guide. But you have everything, audio lectures, PowerPoints, all that other good stuff. The constraint is that you only have an hour to do it. So when studying for these, you shouldn't count on being able to look up everything you want to answer. But you can get you out of trouble here and there, I'm sure. There are the 3 writing assignments, which we've talked about. Those are worth 50 points each. Discussion posts, which are worth 25 points each. We've discussed those as well. There's some stuff in here about what I'm looking for as far as how long your reply should be. It's college writing, folks, so it should be, your reply to the initial prompt should be a real paragraph, a 5-sentence one. Or some folks can get away with 4, but it should be a proper paragraph, right? Thesis statement, or supporting evidence, and so on and so forth. Yep. Now, when doing this, one thing I always have to make sure I say, especially with classes of this size, please respect other students' points of view. We're with 150 people in the room. You're going to have pretty much every point of view probably represented. But this is school. Remember, it's school. We're all learning. And as a result, they'll try to take it easy as far as really going after each other. Whatever you do, never make anything personal. But feel free to argue points, but don't argue, with each other, if you will. All right, here's our quizzes. We talked about those, 14 of those. And there's a distribution of points. Now, at this point, you may be thinking, man, that's a lot of work. Now, here's the reason why I have this many assignments. I'm just going to get this out there. The reason why you do this is when you have a lot of assignments, what you do is you take the pressure off of each individual one. So no one assignment here is really going to sink you for the course. And so it's one of those, something has to give. It could make fewer assignments, so it'd be less work to do. But, if you mess one of them up, you may just want to drop the course. And I don't want to do that. You have a bad week, your quiz grade suffers. That happens. Maybe you wrote a bad paper. Hey, it happens too. It doesn't necessarily mean that your grade needs to go down into the C/D range, right? I think you should be able to still salvage a decent grade even with a bad performance one week, right? So that's why we have it that way. Everything goes through web courses. Oh, your papers, make sure you put them in a doc or a docx file. I can't read whatever. Sometimes see people turning these things into pages or whatever extensions. I'm not sure what that is. I can't read those. So doc or docx, please. Let's see, our final exam, which we talked about, opens Wednesday, closes Thursday. What else do we have here? Our grading scale, standard plus minus grading scale. Attendance, of course, is online, so obviously there's no attendance. But they do have us do that federal aid assignment the first week, just to show that you're virtually in your seat. So make sure you do that. All right, makeup assignments, missed assignments, extra credit, all that other good stuff. Because the due dates are now, it's pretty well in advance, and there are so many of you. I mean, between the 3 sections, there's 400 students or something like that. I can't have people, constantly missing dates and making makeups and all these other different things. So I have to have this pretty strict policy. Okay. That said, if you have, university-sponsored events, religious observations, legal obligations, anything like this, of course you can make up the work. And in addition to this, and it's not in the syllabus, but in addition to this, there is I want you to know that I do recognize that the world it's not on fire, it's certainly smoldering. And so the possibility of people getting sick, people's lives being pretty disrupted over the next couple of months is pretty high. Not unsympathetic to that. Just make sure you contact me. And don't wait too long. That's really the key. If you get a hold of me early, we can kind of work things out, reschedule things. You'll be on my radar, so I'll know if something comes in late to look for it, all that other good stuff. Just stay in contact if anything goes wrong. All right. it's been like this for a couple of years now, so it's not really that new to me. I'm not going to feel any kind of way about it. Just make sure you stay in touch. The worst thing you can do is just drop off the face of the earth and then show back up in mid-April asking to make everything up. Don't do that. Just contact me and we'll work together. All right. Not here to make your life any more difficult than it already is. What else do we have here? Extra credit. I don't have extra credit for this. And here's the reason for that. Again, 400 students. Every extra credit assignment I offer, I have to offer to everybody. Everybody has to get the same opportunities or else I'm not being fair, right? And I just don't have the staff to handle really any more assignments than what we have already. My TAs are already kind of looking at me sideways over all this. So we are where we are. That said, though, if you notice when we were talking through the syllabus, it was about 45 free points out of the 600. So they're not really extra credit points, but they are free ones. So that's the best I can do. Everybody has the opportunity to do them. Everybody can have their grade improved a bit. That's what I have to offer. What else do we have here? Everything goes through web courses via FERPA. Academic integrity. Don't cheat, lie, plagiarize, any of that stuff. Or else, paperwork gets started and yeah, it's not cool. You're better off just writing a terrible paper and begging for forgiveness and a rewrite than you are turning in a plagiarized paper. All right? Just don't do that. What else? Everything else is pretty standard stuff. Course materials. I don't know why anybody else would want any of these course materials other than you folks, but there it is. Here's an important one, actually. Course accessibility statement. For those of you who need accessibility services, extra time on exams, that kind of thing, make sure you've contacted the folks through SAS. And how it works is, they generate paperwork, and the paperwork gets to me. I sign that I've seen it, and your accommodations are, made manifest. So, all right. Campus safety. We're not on campus, but hey, in case you are. Deployed active duty military students. If any of you fit this description, just let me know. I know your schedules can get pretty unpredictable. So, yes, just, again, let me know and I'll work with you. No big deal. Here's an important link. Sometimes web courses go sideways. When it does, there's your link to try to find somebody to fix it. And it's not me. I don't know how to fix web courses. All right, here's our schedule. Now, in theory, this schedule of assignment should match our course page. I looked it over. I think it does. If it does not, please let me know, and I will either explain to you how I'm actually correct, or I will make the necessary adjustment to make the syllabus match the course page. The syllabus is the document of record. So generally speaking, if it's on the syllabus, it does. Then it is happening. But I think they match up. So I don't think it's a big deal. All right, folks, that's what I have for this week. There's your course page. It's a module a week. The syllabus is there. I checked most of the links. They all seem to be working, at least according to, at least on my end. We'll see how that goes. But again, if there's any problems with the course, email me directly. The technical policy is 48 hours, but really I get a hold of people within 24. Only caveat there is I don't check my email over the weekend very much. So if you email me late on a Friday, don't really look for a response until Monday. Just how it goes. But other than that, if you email me during the week, you'll probably get a pretty quick reply if I see it. Now, if you do email me and it goes a couple of days, you haven't heard back from me, just email me again. I won't feel harassed or anything. I'll be like, oh crap, I missed that one. And I'll make sure I get back to you right away. Okay? All right, folks. Looking forward to a good semester here, as pain-free as humanly possible. And maybe we might even learn something. All right. Take care of yourselves. Be safe out there.